Okay, stop what you are doing. Put down the roses, step away from the heart-shaped box of chocolates, and check your pulse.
Oh.
It is Saturday, February 14th, 2026. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day.
But more importantly, happy Bollywood decided to drop an absolute avalanche of news on a single morning day.
It really is an avalanche. Happy Valentine's Day to you, too. You seem, highly caffeinated.
I'm vibrating. I am literally vibrating with caffeine and just the sheer narrative chaos of today.
I can see that.
You know, usually holidays are slow news days, the industry takes a nap, but today it feels like the entire Hindi film fraternity woke up and chose violence.
Or romance. Or, violent romance. That seems to be the theme.
Exactly. We have blood-soaked love stories at the box office. We have these massive franchise announcements that are basically monetizing heartbreak. And we have, and I cannot stress this enough, a letter from a jail cell involving a luxury helicopter.
Which is a sentence I genuinely never thought we'd be analyzing on a serious film show. But, well, here we are.
Here we are. Look, the vibe out there is all love is in the air. But if you actually look at the trades, if you look at the numbers we're seeing this morning, the real story isn't love. It's the business of love.
Right.
It's how the industry is trying to package that emotion, sequelize it, and sell it back to us at a premium.
That is the cynical take, but you're not wrong. We're seeing a very specific pivot today. It's about, franchise fatigue versus what some of the analysts are calling creative disruption.
Whoa, I like that.
We're seeing the old guard, the Raj Kapoors of history, clashing with the new guard's way of doing business. So I think our mission today isn't just to recap the news.
Yeah.
We need to dissect the pulse of the industry. We need to look at the systems behind these headlines.
Right. We're going to critique the financing. We're going to look at the legal implications of what homage even means anymore. And we're going to try to separate the actual art from the noise.
And there is a lot of noise.
So much noise. Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's dive in.
Okay, segment 1. The Valentine's Day box office. The headline everywhere is A Romeo. Shahid Kapoor, Tripti Dimri. It is the flavor of the day.
It is absolutely the film of the moment.
And the numbers are in. It opened with 9.01 crore. Now, on the surface, that sounds good, but I want to push you on this. Is it actually good?
That's a fair question.
Because 9 crore in 2026 isn't what 9 crore was in, like 2019. We have inflation, higher ticket prices.
Yeah.
Is this a hit? Or is it just par for the course?
That is the right question to ask. I mean, if you adjust for inflation, 9 crore is a solid, a healthy opening, but it's not a blockbuster tsunami.
Okay.
However, context is everything here. Valentine's Day this year falls on a Saturday. It's not a bank holiday. It's not Diwali.
Right.
So for a non-holiday release, specifically for a genre that is technically a romantic action thriller, hitting near double digits on day one is, I'd say, pretty significant.
Because usually romance opens lower and then builds right word of mouth.
Precisely. A regular rom-com or a romantic drama, it'll usually open in the 5 to 7 crore range and then rely on that word of mouth. Oh, Romeo opening at 9 crore tells us something about what the audience wants.
Yeah.
They didn't come for a soft, cuddly date movie. They came for Shahid Kapoor looking intense and bloody.
Which brings us to the huge disconnect. Because the audience clearly showed up. Couples bought tickets. But the critics... oh, boy.
Yeah.
The critics did not bring flowers.
No chocolates for Vishal Bhardwaj today. Not from them.
I was reading the Hindu's review this morning, and they were just brutal. They used words like meandering and tedious. They basically said the film is just crushed under the weight of expectations. Because when you see Vishal Bhardwaj and Shahid Kapoor, you expect...
Like Heer, you expect Kamini,
Exactly.
you expect Shakespearean tragedy, but with this, uniquely Indian sociopolitical context. And the critique here, and I think this is a fascinating discussion about style over substance, is that the film looks incredible, but the soul is kind of missing. The Hindu essentially argued that Bhardwaj has become a victim of his own aesthetic. He's so good at making things look moody and atmospheric that the story just forgot to move forward.
Well, hold on. I want to challenge that. Is style over substance even a valid critique anymore? For this generation of cinema goers,
Go on.
we live in the era of the vibe movie. Look at Animal or some of the other recent big hits. Sometimes the aesthetic is the plot. If Shahid looks good, if the lighting is perfect, if the music slaps, isn't that enough for the ticket price?
I think that is a very dangerous, slippery slope, especially for a filmmaker of Bardwaj's caliber.
You think so?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, for a mass entertainer, vibes can carry the first weekend, absolutely. But Bardwaj isn't selling mass masala, he's selling prestige drama.
True.
So if the narrative is meandering, like the critics are saying, the drop-off on Monday is going to be severe. You can't sustain a theatrical run on vibes alone unless you're delivering these massive, massive action set pieces, which a Romeo is, but it's a different kind of action. It's more
Intimate violence.
intimate violence. That's a good way to put it.
Speaking of which, let's talk about that ending. And listeners, massive spoiler alert here. If you haven't seen a Romeo yet, just skip forward about 2 minutes. We have to talk about the climax.
The Ustara versus Jalal face-off.
Yes. The reports are coming in that the ending is completely ambiguous. It just leaves Ustara's fate totally up in the air.
Which is a classic literary move. It's very the lady or the tiger.
But is it a smart commercial move? It's Valentine's Day. People want to know if they live happily ever after, or at least, tragically ever after. Leaving it as a question mark.
Right.
Doesn't that just frustrate the paying public?
It absolutely does. And we've seen this backfire before. Audiences, particularly Indian mass audiences, they crave closure.
Yeah.
We want the thali to be finished. We want the sweet dish at the end. An ambiguous ending works for a festival film. For a film opening at 9 crores on Valentine's weekend, it's a massive risk.
So what's the thinking?
It suggests the filmmakers are prioritizing their own artistic integrity over audience satisfaction.
Or they're setting up a sequel.
There it is. The cynical business mind kicks in.
Hey, everything is a universe now, which is the perfect segue to our next big story. Imtiaz Ali, Ekta Kapoor, they are reuniting for Heer Ranjha.
This is huge news. Absolutely huge.
And they are explicitly calling it the second chapter of the Layla Majnu franchise.
Okay, let's just pause on that word. Franchise.
I know.
We are now franchising folklore.
It's the TLCU, the Tragic Lover Cinematic Universe.
It sounds funny when you say it, but think about the business brilliance of this. Layla Majnu, when it came out years ago, was not a blockbuster.
Not at all. It washed out.
It did. But then what happened?
It went to streaming. It hit Instagram Reels. The songs just blew up. It became this huge cult classic.
Exactly. It became a cult asset. So Imtiaz Ali and Ekta Kapoor are realizing that they have this captured market of people who are, frankly, addicted to that specific brand of Sufi-infused high-pain romance. By announcing Heer Ranjha as a successor, they aren't just making a movie based on a public domain story. They are saying, if you love the feeling of Layla Majnu, here is the next dose.
It's the monetization of nostalgia, but also the monetization of angst.
It is.
Imtiaz Ali has completely cornered the market on men crying in mountains.
He really has. And bringing Sajid Al back to direct with Imtiaz writing, it just ensures that brand consistency.
Yeah.
It's like buying a luxury bag. You know exactly what the stitching is going to look like. You know exactly how much it's going to hurt.
And we love the pain.
Mm-hmm.
But let's shift from the pain of love to the pain of a punch to the face. Segment 2, the blockbuster battleground.
The adrenaline sector, I like it.
We have to talk about Dhurandhar, Ranbir Singh, and specifically the sequel, Dhurandhar, The Revenge, which is dated for March 19th.
This is the film that is currently dominating the industry WhatsApp groups. Everyone's talking about it.
And the biggest cheerleader, surprisingly, Ranbir Kapoor.
This was surprising, I'll admit.
Was it, though? Ranbir came out and called it his current favorite. He said the team smashed it. And then he said this really interesting thing about his own bad luck, that his films like Ramayana take forever, while Ranbir is out there just churning out hits.
It was a very candid moment, but let's look at the strategy here. You asked if it was surprising. In the old days, think 90s cons, you would never see Shah Rukh hyping Amir's film like this.
No way. It was a Cold War.
It was icy, but this generation, Ranbir and Ranbir, they are the two main pillars of the industry right now.
Right.
By praising Ranbir, Ranbir isn't bowing down. He's solidifying the duopoly. He's basically saying, it's me and him, we are the kings.
So it's not just a nice comment.
It's a display of secure masculinity, sure, but it's also a way of keeping the conversation focused entirely on the two of them.
That's a 4D chess move. I'll praise you so we both stay in the headlines and everyone else just looks small.
Exactly. It sucks all the oxygen out of the room for anyone else. But speaking of sucking oxygen, we need to talk about the Sunny Deol connection in Dhurandhar.
Oh, this is the spicy part. So the film references Gayal and Ghatak.
Iconic 90s Sunny Deol movies.
Direct homages, right?
Yes.
And Sunny Deol reacted today. He called it a sweet tribute. He was very gracious. But then he dropped this little nugget. He said, and I'm quoting, "I didn't get any royalty for it, but it's fine."
That, "but it's fine," is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence.
Right. Let's deep dive on this. Because in Hollywood, if you reference a character or a specific line from another IP, lawyers are parachuting in before the trailer even drops.
Immediately. Look at the music industry with the blurred lines case. You can get sued for copying a vibe. But here, Bollywood operates on what I call the chai and samosa contract.
I love that.
It's all based on relationships. Sunny Deol is fond of the director, he likes Ranbir, so he lets it slide as a tribute.
But is that sustainable? I mean, really?
Absolutely not. As we move into this era of corporatized studios where international entities are involved, you cannot rely on Sunny Deol just being gracious.
So what happens?
What happens when the IP rights are owned by a massive conglomerate and not the actor himself? We are heading toward a huge legal reckoning in Bollywood regarding moral rights versus copyright.
So today it's a sweet tribute, but tomorrow it's a cease and desist order.
Precisely. And if Dhurandhar goes on to make 500 crores, Sunny Deol's accountants might be telling him, hey, maybe that tribute was worth, say, 5%.
Money changes everything. Speaking of money and changing models, there's this buzzword floating around there, creative disruption in financing. Trade analyst Girish Wankhide used it. What does that actually mean?
Okay, so let's break down the boring business side because it's actually pretty thrilling.
Let's do it.
The traditional model is Star takes a massive fee up front, let's say 100 crores, that immediately burdens the budget. If the film flops, the producer goes under, the star buys a new island.
The heads I win, tails you lose model.
Right. Creative disruption usually implies a back-end heavy model or maybe a co-production equity split. It means the star Ranbir, in this case, might be taking a nominal upfront fee, but a massive chunk of the profit.
Oh.
This lowers the risk for the investors and the distributors. It aligns everyone's incentives. If the movie hits, everyone gets rich. If it flops, the star bleeds too.
So when Wankhide calls it disruption, he means they are finally sharing the risk.
Yes. And in an industry that has been plagued by flops recently, distributors love this. It signals confidence. It says, I believe in this product enough to bet my own paycheck on it.
But even with a great financial model, you still have to fight for screens. And March 19th is looking like a bloodbath.
The clash. It's happening.
Toxic versus Dhurandhar. The revenge. Ranveer Singh versus Yash.
This is the heavyweight championship fight of the year so far.
So how does this work behind the scenes? You have two massive films dropping on the exact same day. Who decides who gets the IMAX screen? Who decides who gets the 9 p.m. prime slot?
This is where the distributors go to war. It's not about which movie is better. It's about leverage.
Right.
Yash is coming off KGF. KGF 2 was a monster. His distributors will walk into the theater chains, your PVRs, your Inoxes, and say, if you want Toxic, you have to give us 60% of the prime shows. If you don't, we pull the print.
It's basically extortion.
It's business, and Ranveer's team will do the exact same thing. They'll leverage his past hits, the studio relationships, maybe even bundle it with future releases. Take Dhurandhar now, and we'll give you a discount on the next big comedy.
And the theater owners are just stuck in the middle.
The exhibitors are the ones caught in the middle. They have to guess which horse is going to win.
And if they guess wrong.
They lose millions in popcorn sales on opening weekend. Same-day releases are a nightmare for the ecosystem. It forces the audience to choose, and often, instead of both films making good money, they just cannibalize each other.
It stresses me out just thinking about it. I just want to see a movie. I don't want to be part of a civil war.
You have to pick a side, my friend. Pick a side.
I'm staying neutral. I'm Switzerland. Or I'm just going to go watch Mardaani 3.
The Switzerland of Bollywood franchises. That's perfect.
Let's move to segment 3, the sequel monitor. Because while the boys are fighting, the queen is quietly collecting checks. Rani Mukherjee, Mardaani 3.
Consistency personified. She's just incredible.
The data says it earned 60 lakhs on day 15. Now, listeners might hear 60 lakhs and think that's pocket change compared to the 9 crores we were just talking about. But 15 days in.
15 days in, 60 lakhs is fantastic retention. It shows what we in the biz call legs.
Legs.
A blockbuster opens big and then crashes. A franchise like Mardaani works on a completely different economy. It's likely a mid-budget film. It doesn't need to make 500 crores to be profitable. It just needs to make 80 or 100 crores.
It's the difference between a high-risk tech stock and a solid government bond.
Exactly. Rani Mukherjee has cornered the market on reliable quality. Audiences know exactly what they're getting. Gritty cop drama, a social message, great performance. There is zero confusion.
And that builds trust.
It builds trust. And in a market where people feel burned by bad movies, trust is a currency.
Trust is currency. Speaking of trust, or maybe exploiting trust, the Kerala Story 2 was announced, subtitled Goes Beyond.
This is the other side of the sequel coin, isn't it? The agenda franchise.
We're seeing this trend of social issue films becoming franchises. The Kashmir Files, Kerala Story, they take headlines and turn them into these cinematic universes.
It's a very controversial, but, undeniably profitable model. These films don't rely on star power. They rely on political discourse.
Right.
They rely on WhatsApp forwards. They rely on the news cycle. By announcing a sequel, they are essentially saying the issue isn't over and neither is our business plan.
It's fascinating how the industry mimics the news cycle now. But let's pivot back to the actors for a minute. We talked about Ranbir and Ranveer at the top, but I want to talk about the waiting game, because Anil Kapoor gave an interview today that it broke my heart a little bit.
I read that. It was surprisingly raw.
He's been a star for 40 years.
Yeah.
40 years. And he admitted he feels insecure. He said he still has this burning need to be seen.
I want to be seen. It's such a human admission from someone of his stature.
He talked about how back in the day, he did multiple shifts. He was always on set. Now movies take 2-3 years to make, like Ramayana. And he just sits at home, waiting.
This is a structural shift in the industry that has real psychological costs. In the 90s, an actor like Anil Kapoor would have maybe 12 releases a year. If one of them flopped, nobody cared because another one was coming next Friday. You were constantly validated. You were constantly working.
You were a factory worker of fame.
Yes. Now, you work on one project for 2 years, you isolate yourself, you prep, and if that one project fails, you disappear for another 2 years.
Oh, wow.
The stakes are impossibly high. That insecurity Anil feels, that's the silence of the modern production schedule. It's the gig economy coming for the superstars.
It really humanizes them. We think they're sitting on these piles of gold so confident, but really, they're just checking their phones, waiting for the director to call action.
At the end of the day, we are all just waiting to be seen.
Okay, that got deep. Let's lighten the mood. It is Valentine's Day. Let's talk about gifts. Segment 4. The lighter side.
Oh, I know exactly where this is going.
You know exactly where this is going. We have a headline that belongs in a satirical novel. Sukesh Chandrasekhar.
The con man. Yes.
Currently in jail. Incarcerated. Locked up. He has released a letter claiming he has gifted Jacqueline Fernandez an Airbus luxury helicopter for Valentine's Day.
An Airbus luxury helicopter.
I have so many logistical questions. First of all, does Amazon deliver helicopters?
Yeah.
Second, where does one park a helicopter gifted by a prisoner? And third, just why?
It's the grand gesture, weaponized. Look, this isn't about the helicopter. I highly doubt there is an actual helicopter.
Wait, you don't think there's a helicopter? You're shattering my dreams.
I am skeptical. Let's just say I'm skeptical. But this is about the attention economy. Even from behind bars, he knows how to hijack the news cycle. He knows that inmate sends chocolate is page 6, inmate sends helicopter is front page. It's a performance. He's keeping his name attached to hers in the public consciousness.
It's actually quite predatory, isn't it?
It is. He's forcing a narrative on her that she can't escape.
It's true. Every headline today is Sukesh gifts Jacqueline. She didn't ask for this. She's just trying to live her life.
Exactly. It's non-consensual gift-giving as a PR stunt. Wild.
Wild. From unwanted attention to, well, manufactured attention. Vijay Varma.
Ah, the hand photo, of course.
He posted a photo of just holding hands. The internet exploded. Is it Tamanna? Is it a new girl? The Reddit threads were analyzing the nail polish, the wrist structure.
We are a very, very normal society.
Totally normal. And then he posts the reveal. It was a prank. Chia banaya tumko. I made a fool of you.
Yeah. I loved this so much. It was a masterclass in trolling, but it also highlights the parasocial relationship fans have. We feel entitled to know who these people are sleeping with.
Yeah.
We feel entitled to their romance. Vijay Varma essentially held up a mirror and said, look how obsessed you are. Look how easy it is to manipulate you.
He played us like a fiddle. And honestly, respect.
Absolute respect for that move.
Speaking of playing the game, let's talk about the couples who are doing it the traditional way. Raj Kundra and Shilpa Shetty, they dropped a couple goals, Real.
Resilience through content. That has been their strategy for a while now. Whatever happens legally, whatever happens in the news, the Instagram feed remains pristine.
It's a way of controlling the narrative.
Totally. We are happy, we are together, look at our outfit coordination.
And the outfits are coordinated. We have to mention the fashion. Dwani Bonashali, Shania Kapoor. The date looks are trending everywhere.
It's all sparkles and red. It's the Valentine's uniform.
But let's do a quick rumor control check, because Valentine's Day is also a breeding ground for fake news. Gaurav Khanna, the Big Boss winner.
Right. There's a lot of buzz about a divorce there.
And he shut it down.
Firmly. He said he and Akanksha Chamola are happily together. And this is important because, again, the vacuum of information leads to speculation. If you don't post a photo, people just assume you're divorced.
He had to come out and correct the record.
The burden of proof is on the couple now. Post a photo or you're broken up, it must be exhausting.
So exhausting. And the biggest rumor of the week, Hrithik Roshan and Dawn 3.
This was the fanboy dream, wasn't it? Ranbir leaves Dawn 3, the spot is open, fans started screaming, "Bring back Hrithik!"
It made sense. He was in Dawn 2. He has the swagger.
It made narrative sense, but not business sense, apparently. Hrithik explicitly denied being approached today. He said these rumors take on a life of their own.
That phrase again, life of their own.
It just shows the power of that vacuum. Excel Entertainment hasn't announced a replacement, so the internet filled the void with the most desirable option. Hrithik is just the innocent bystander in the fans' grief over the franchise.
Poor Hrithik. He's just trying to eat his egg whites, and people are casting him in movies he doesn't even know about.
The struggles of a Greek god. What can you do?
All right, let's get critical. Segment 5, the review roundup. We talked to Romeo, but what else is out there? Because not everyone wants action on Valentine's Day.
Well, if you want something that makes you uncomfortable, there is Asi, Tapsi Pannu, directed by Anubhav Sinha.
Now, this is a duo that does not do fluff, thopod, mulk. They go for the jugular.
And the early reviews reflect that. Words like bold, thought-provoking, and unsettling are popping up everywhere.
Unsettling is a tough sell for a Saturday night date.
It is. But Anubhav Sinha has carved out this niche of cinema of discomfort. He wants you to leave the theater arguing. He wants you to leave feeling a bit sick about society.
That's his goal.
It's not about box office numbers for him as much as it is about cultural impact. And it demands a theater viewing because you can't just pause it and walk away. You have to sit through the discomfort.
That's a great point. The theater forces you to engage. On Netflix, I'd just switch to The Office if it got too real.
Exactly.
And the complete opposite end of the spectrum, couple-friendly, Santosh Sobhan and Manasa Varanasi.
This is getting the thumbs up. The consensus seems to be that it's familiar territory, but in a good way.
Sometimes familiar is good. I'll take familiar.
Especially on Valentine's Day. You want the tropes. You want the meet cute. You want the misunderstanding, the rain sequence.
Valid.
It's comfort food. And the verdict is that it works. It proves you don't always need to disrupt the genre. You just need to execute it well.
But then we have Sukamano Sukaman.
Oh dear. What's the verdict?
One review simply said, pure torture.
Pure torture. Is that a genre now? It's the genre of we tried and we failed miserably. It's a good reminder that filmmaking is incredibly hard. For every Romeo, there are 10 films that just don't land. And when they miss hard.
And just a quick nod to Tuya Main, the Shania Adarsh thriller.
Muted opening.
That's the polite way of saying nobody went.
It's the classic non-star thriller track. If you don't have a massive name and you don't have a massive marketing budget, how do you get people in seats?
It's tough.
Thrillers rely on word of mouth, but you need the initial mouths to start the word. It's a chicken and egg situation.
It's brutal out there. Speaking of brutal, let's do a retro rewind, segment 6. Because we love history on this show, but sometimes the history is a lot darker than we remember.
It is. We have a story surfacing today about Raj Kapoor and Rajesh Khanna.
Two absolute titans.
Yeah.
The showman and the superstar.
And it's a story about the casting of Satyam Shivam Sundaram.
One of the most iconic films ever made.
Apparently, Raj Kapoor originally wanted Rajesh Khanna for the lead.
Wow.
It would have been a casting coup, but he had to drop it.
Why? What happened?
Because Rishi Kapoor, Raj Kapoor's own son, opposed it. There was professional rivalry, personal friction, and Raj Kapoor, the man who supposedly ruled Bollywood with an iron fist, allegedly said, "Main har gaya, I lost."
It gives me chills. I lost. It humanizes the legend so much. We think of these guys as gods who moved mountains.
Right.
But at the end of the day, Raj Kapoor was just a dad trying to keep the peace at the dinner table.
It reminds us that Bollywood has always been, at its core, a cottage industry. It's a family business. Decisions that look purely artistic from the outside, oh, he cast Shashi Kapoor instead, are often driven by these intense family dynamics.
The kitchen politics dictate the cinema history.
That's a great way to put it. And speaking of the darker side of set dynamics, there's a story about a child actor and Mushmi Chatterjee.
This was a tough read. A former child actor recalled a scene where she was pinched by long nails and then thrown onto a bed without a mattress. Thrown on a bed without a mattress. That's just physical abuse.
It is, and the actress was just doing it to get the reaction for the scene. It just highlights how utterly unsafe sets used to be. There were no intimacy coordinators. There were no child welfare officers on set. Kids were just props to get a shot.
We look back at the golden era with these rose-tinted glasses, the music, the glamour. But for a kid on that set, it was a nightmare.
It was survival. And it really makes you appreciate the bureaucratic changes we have now. People complain about woke regulations on sets, but those regulations exist so children don't get thrown onto wooden bed frames for a take.
Amen to that. We need to remember these stories. We need to archive them. Which brings us to a hero of the day, Pim Raj Garg.
Yes, a massive shout out to him. He is documenting Punjabi cinema history from 1935 to 2025.
That is a Herculean task. 90 years.
It is essential work. In India, we are terrible at archiving. We lose films. Reels just rot in go-downs. Posters get eaten by termites. Our history disappears. For someone to meticulously chronicle 90 years of Punjabi cinema, that is a service to the nation.
It really is. If we don't write it down, it's like it never happened. Okay, we are on the home stretch. Segment 7, the watch list. It's the weekend. We've analyzed the business. We've cried over the history. Now tell me what to watch while I eat my pizza.
Okay. If you are avoiding the theaters because you hate crowds or you just hate love.
A valid choice on Valentine's Day.
GQ has some OTT picks on Amazon Prime. They are recommending Drishyam and Hathoon and NH10.
A theme is emerging here. Murder. Deception. Rage. Nothing says, I love you, like covering up a crime together. Drishyam is actually a great family movie if your family is, let's say, complicated.
And NH10 is the ultimate date night went horribly wrong movie.
It really is. Also, for the horror fans, The Conjuring. Last Rites is now streaming.
Is that the one with the daughter getting involved?
Yes. Judy helping Ed and Lorraine. Again, the theme of family business. Even the Warrens are a family business.
Everybody's franchising their kids. It's a trend. And for those asking about O Romeo on OTT, because my Twitter mentions are full of this, the rights haven't been officially announced yet, but the bidding war is happening. Given the ambiguity of the ending, I feel like Netflix seems like a natural home for a potential director's cut.
Oh, I would pay extra for the explained ending. Just give it to me.
Regional spotlight. We cannot ignore the South.
Absolutely not. Never.
If you are in the South or have access to regional releases, look out for Sita Payanam and Anami. Also, a big endorsement. Surya met the team of My Lord and appreciated them. When Surya goes out of his way to praise a film, you add it to the list.
He has great taste. And a quick visual shout out, the poster for Mental Manitil, G.V. Prakash and Madhuri Jain. Rain-soaked lovers.
It's stunning. It just captures that monsoon romance vibe perfectly.
And finally, a debut to watch. Avantika Sundar.
Khushbu's daughter. She's making her Malayalam debut in Arambam.
The next generation steps up.
The cycle continues, the star kids arrive, the old guard defends their turf, and the audience just keeps buying the popcorn.
So let's wrap this up. What does this all mean? We started with O Romeo and ended with a debutante. We've got helicopters, we've got heartbreaks, we've got torture sequences being praised for technical precision.
Right.
And we've got ancient folklore getting a franchise reboot.
It's a Valentine's Day of extreme contrasts.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a single thread to tie this whole episode together, it's that concept of creative disruption versus safety.
Explain that.
The industry is scared. That's why we have Mardaani 3, Kerala Story 2, Heer, Ranjha. Franchises are safe. They are the comfort blanket. But then you have a Durandar trying to change the financing model. You have a Romeo risking an ambiguous ending. You have Asi trying to actively make you uncomfortable.
So we are seeing a tug of war.
We are seeing the friction between the need to make money and the need to make art. That friction is where the sparks fly. And honestly, that's where the best cinema comes from. If everyone played it safe, we'd just be watching Couple Friendly on a loop forever.
And that would be, well, friendly, but pretty boring. And amidst all that billion rupee business, don't forget Anil Kapoor, sitting at home, just wanting to be seen.
It's the ultimate reminder, isn't it? Whether you are a megastar, a distributor fighting for screens, or just a fan checking Instagram, connection is the currency. We all just want to connect.
Beautifully said. Go connect with someone this weekend, watch a movie, share some popcorn, argue about the ending. Just Maybe check the paperwork before you accept any helicopters.
Always check the paperwork.
That's it for us today.
From headlines to heartbeats, you've been listening to Bollywood Deep Dive by IndiaRevue.com. Catch you where the stories are.